So far so good. Maybe I should have told people I was going to be on a... Oh, there's people. How do I see what people are saying? Oh, there we go. What's this thing all about? I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. Do I see messages? How do messages work? Somebody say something. Somebody type something. Hey, there we go. Hi to Belfast. Right, that's excellent. I can see what you're saying now. Okay, sorry it took me a wee while getting on. I had to settle the wee man, and he wasn't for going to sleep whatsoever. Can you hear me okay? Is the audio okay? Anyone? Oh, thank you very much, David. That's excellent. Thank you. That's always really good to hear. All right, Stick and Mix. I don't know if you want me to use real names or channel names or whatever. As I say, I hope the audio is okay. If you could let me know one way or another. What I'm planning on doing on this video is... Oh, excellent. Cheers, Dan. What I'm planning on doing on this video, if you've been watching my recent videos... Alright, TJ, is one of my... If you know... Oh, the breeding of the Bacliana. Oh, Brazil. I'm all over the world. We've got another egg sac I think is ready to pull, so I've prepared a tub, so I'm hoping at some point what we're going to do is actually take that out and open up that egg sac live on camera. How does that sound to everybody? Denise. I would love to have kept the wee man up, but he's not been very well. He's not been sleeping great recently, so I'm afraid I really had to get him down for a nap. I really wanted to have him as part of this experiment, because that's really what it is. But yeah, as I say, I thought he really needed to get down, but I don't know if you can see very well on the camera here. This is the first batch of Bacliana Ditties. Well, they're webbing up like crazy. Oh, where's the lighting's not great, the odd video's not great, but they're molting, they're webbing, they're feeding, they're doing really well. So that's the first lot. Second lot in here. Okay, of all my collection, what's my favourite? Oh, questions already. Yeah, the slings are looking awesome. Right, what's my favourite at the moment? It would have to probably be the ogre face spiders, the net casters, just because I've spent my Tarantula Cave, I dropped you a message earlier. If you could reply to that, I dropped you a PM in regards to a conversation we were having. But to answer the question, sorry, it would probably be my ogre face spiders would be probably about my favourite in my collection, right about Tarantula Cave. Right about now, they would be my absolute favourite. I do love my Pac-Man frog because he's a little bit different. I don't really feature him on the channel very much. He just eats. Got a reply there. Hey Spider Woman. Netcasters are doing absolutely great. Butterfingers and the other one are feeding really well. Somebody had suggested to me that one of them might actually drop an egg sac with another couple of feeds. Certainly had another couple of feeds, and as of yet I've not seen any egg sacs come out of them. Presumably they'll be wild caught species, so Iceland's Dan just finished, so yeah, you never know. I know, I do actually, Dan. I need to name. In fact, if anyone wants to name my other ogre face, because Butterfingers kind of just got a name. Very few of my animals are named. There's Butterfingers, there's a cow bag, which is one of my... Oh, it's just... she's just disappeared down to there, the light's hitting off it. There's cow bag down in there. One of my large female false widows. Stupid light, and you can just see the orange down in there. Little butt kicker, who was a gift from the nerd room. Don't know if we can see little butt kicker. Well, a little butt kicker certainly got one hefty bahookie on it, but little butt kicker also has a name. There we go. So other than that, very few of them have a name. So yeah, Wee Man's in the bed. I'm sorry, Wee Man had to go to his bed. Hi Kobe. I'm afraid I had to put Little Man to sleep. He's not slept well for the last few nights. I think he's teething. Me and the wife haven't slept well at all for about the last 3 or 4 nights. So it was really important I got him down to bed. I really wanted to have him as part of this, so he could be here. I know, Damien, I'm really sorry. But I'm getting sort of a bit of sleep right now. Hopefully next time I will do this earlier in the day and we'll have the Wee Man on board, because I think it'd be awesome. Let's face it, most people actually watch the videos for him, not for me. Yes, mantids, I was just feeding them earlier today. If you just bear with me, I will go and get one of them. I'll leave you with the stunning backdrop just now. Okay, so here is one of my mantids. It's a Orisam, adult male. I actually lost track of the exact species this one is, but I've had him since it was very small. He is a beautiful fella and very gentle. Quite often refuses to take food and requires to be hand fed. Draco, at the height of my career, I was sitting at probably about 80-90 tarantulas, and I think a lot of it, I kind of lost a lot of passion for it because I suppose seeing a lot of bullying going on social medias, and I kind of withdrew a lot, and part of the hobby kind of got a bit dulled for me. And over time I started spreading out into other things. Scorpions, we'll have a look at the scorpion shortly. Started spreading out into scorpions and other things, and decided to really cut back on my tarantula collection. Part of me wishes I hadn't, because there's a lot of species I had, part of me, that I would love to own again. M. robustum, E. murinus. I had a couple of skeleton leg tarantulas, absolutely beautiful. And this is one of my other... This is another, oh, come here you. So here we have the stick mantis. I love the way they disguise themselves. Oh. He just fed earlier on. Getting back into stub. But I do love the camouflage in those guys. And other than that, I only have one other mantis at the moment. It's a ghost mantis. I'll see if I can go and grab her. I will be back. Do get mantis. The only downside to mantids is the very short lifespan. Once you reach maturity, you're looking about a year-ish. About a year, 2 years lifespan. They really don't last too long once they've hit maturity, and that's kind of the downside to mantids, is that they are quite short-lived. But I do have come here, girl. Come here. So this is the last of my Filocrania paradoxa, and as you'll notice, she is actually missing her crown, and I always thought that might affect her, but she's actually survived longer than her siblings. She's the last of my ghosts. Pathogenic, there is a species I think it's one of the Miomantis species. You look into it. The female can reproduce, but if I recall correctly, all female are then females. You'd probably be better speaking to Nerdroom. He would be able to provide you with a lot more information on mantids and breeding. But I believe there is species that can do. You do got all of the ghosts. I like the Deadleaf as well, but I've always really liked the ghosts. And I know Tarantula Cave has a beautiful green, and I was hoping for a green out of this clutch, but I got browns and various tones of browns. So we're going to put the mantids away in your hop. Oh, in your hop. Okay, running to and fro. I missed. I don't know if there's any questions there. I do apologise. I missed them. Yeah, man. Scorps. Okay, this could be quite tricky to see Scorps because they tend to burrow down a lot. I've got the two Longimanus up here, and I very rarely see them. This is a kind of scorpion shelf here. So in these tubs, I've just moved some of them up into new tubs. In these tubs we have, if we can try and get her to go on to, sorry, this is probably going to be the worst bit of filming ever. I was out filming earlier today. So this is one of my Euscorpius italicus. This is the female. And she's just been upgraded into this tub. What species do I have? I have the Euscorpius italicus, and these are their offspring in these smaller tubs. So the babies are in a variety of sort of cacophony of tubs. Just there I have Swammerdami in one of them, Spinifer and Heterometeus sinensis in the other. Can I see one of your babies? Well, I'll try and get them on. Try and get a... I do have a couple of whip scorpions as well. I have the Damon diadema. If that's the correct row. Can I flip this camera? Hold on. If you bear with me one wee second, I'm going to try and rotate the camera so we can see. There's one of the babies right there. I don't know if the zoom function works. No, that's just... I just want to kind of zoom this way. Nope, that brings up the conversation. Yeah, but there's one of the babies there. And we'll flip that background so you don't have to see the state of my sitting room. So we do have, what we've got, 8, 9, 10, 11 babies at the moment. Most of them will be getting sent out. They are very tiny. The gnats have actually molted a couple of times. They will be getting sent out soon. They are a great species, David, indeed. I would like to expand into like more scorpions. I mainly tend to focus on the forest species. I would really like to... I've not ever really kept much in the way of desert species. We're going to go down and we'll have a look at my big Swammerdami down in here. So I just need to swivel down into here. Oh, the lighting. And we're going to flick the camera around into the setup. And the question is, where is... There we go. So there we go. So this is indeed a very big scorpion. These are the largest scorpion species. I'm sorry about the lighting. I don't even have a torch or anything I can shine into here. But this is indeed a large, relatively aggressive scorpion. So I obviously don't want to infuriate the wrath too much. But we'll just see if we can get slightly further out into the light, just so we can get a better look. I have been... I don't know if you can hear that hissing. You hear that hissing? There we go. So that's one of these, when I talk about understanding your animals and warning signs, this is very much the kind of thing I'm talking about. But a very, very beautiful. Bought as male. Sorry if I said male, it's actually. But it would have been nice to have got the male that I was after. But yeah, she is beautiful, and I hope you like the setup. Do you need a passport? No, you don't, mate. You can cross the. You can come to Scotland. You're safe. Just jump in the car, drive up. All right, Peter, how you doing? You'll. Oh. We'll get on to the assassins, won't we? All that enclosure, all that stuff in the enclosure, I think I did a video on going and getting it. Excellent, thank you. I dropped you a private message in VectorVision not long ago. I don't know if you got it or not. It was just checking up on you. I hadn't seen you around for a wee while. So I just wanted to make sure everything was alright. You can drop us a private message through Facebook or something just so we can catch up, see how you're getting on. That'd be really awesome. But other than that, I have another female Etrometrius Swammerdami. It's a slightly smaller female up in there, which is why I bought the one I thought was a male to go up in that one. But she is very difficult to see because, again, is way down in her hide. And as I say, we've got the Heterometrius trinesis. By the way, I might be guessing some of the pronunciation. Spinifar and Swammerdami in there. And tailless whip scorpions down in here. I don't know if we'll be able to find it. We'll go down and have a look. Why not? We're on it. We're live. We're doing this. Let's swivel this old camera thing round. So they are in here somewhere or another. This is where he pulls the entire enclosure apart and still can't find anything. They're usually loitering about. Oh, there we go. There's one of them. Sorry, I missed that question there. Do I recommend any scorpions? And I didn't quite catch the last part of that question, whoever asked it. This was kind of something along the lines of, I can fix that later. I'm not too worried about that. Well, I do get pernickety sometimes about the enclosures. Sorry, we were naming the animals earlier. That was actually a female. Again, these were meant to be male-female pairing, but a good friend of mine who really knows his scorpions said that they're both female to the best of his knowledge. And generally, if he's gonna bang on the money with things, what I'll do is I'll get their enclosures down. We'll see if we can see them. They are fairly brute. Do tend to hide a lot, and I don't know why. He had suggested that if I put one of them on heat, she might drop some babies, but as of yet I'm not round to that. So this is I'll put them down on the floor and try and film them that way. This is going well, isn't it? This. Okay, so again, we'll swivel the camera around. Okay, so you can just see this one hiding down in here. So it's buried. Tunnel goes in all the way down into there, and the other one we can see just sitting down in here. I can hear the wee man starting to stir. Okay, so these are Swammerdami longimanus. Really beautiful scorpions. Used to always be out and about, especially this one over here, but recently just hasn't been out as much. I don't know why. maybe just contented down in the burrow. You can see it goes all the way down under here. Yeah, that's the thing, beginner's burrow. They go through phases. I probably see more of my Euscorpius than I do of any other species. The Euscorpius are quite active with things. You hear them sort of tinkering about at night, and their wee claws hitting off the plastic as they're hunting about. They're probably the most active of all my scorpions, if I'm being perfectly honest. The Cyanesis, I think it's in the middle one, that just every night seems like to bulldoze things. I just wake up in the morning. I had to move it because its last enclosure that it was in was just so sodden because it just kept filling in its water dish all the time. What I also like about Euscorpius is, for the size of enclosure, I mean that's quite a large enclosure. You could fit quite a few of them in the space you would need for, like, so one of these guys or girls. And I always try and provide as sort of big an enclosure as I can. The Swamadamis, they're in Exoterras, and they're 45 squared units. So the Longimancer are slightly smaller. One's a 30, 30, 45, and one's in a 30 centimetre cubed. But I would love to get them bigger. It's just space in the shoe. I promised myself I would try and restrict myself to this wall to avoid overbuying. I think for me, when I end up with too many, I think that's kind of why I was saying earlier that I had over 80 tarantulas. And oh, that is, yes, when you hear them like trying to get the bid for freedom. I think when you have too many and it becomes a maintenance project, you kind of lose. For me personally, this is just totally for me. I think when I had so many, I kind of lost a bit of the passion for it that way, because it became about trying to maintain them all as opposed to enjoying them. Maybe that's just me. So I figured if I stick to this wall, I can never get too many. Hey, House of Super Tarantella, check out that channel, please. If any of you aren't subscribed, please. You know, there's loads of amazing channels. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know if anyone's kept the Villicella, the H. Villicella, the tiny little chestnut dwarf tarantula. Those guys, these little things are just awesome. I had a beautiful little commune of them, and they're just absolutely amazing, awesome, tiny little tarantulas. Check out Villicella. Just absolutely brilliant. For a few people, what dwarf was the tarantula? I can't remember what the H stands for. I forget genus names, but it's H. Villicella. It's the Tanzanian chestnut dwarf. It's the Tanzanian chestnut dwarf tarantula. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I've not kept them in a long time. But they could be kept communally, and males reach, I think it's between 2 and 2.5 centimeters. They are a baboon species, a very, very small baboon species. I had a beautiful, not I'm condoning handling, that's each of their own, that's a total different topic. We can get on or off that if you want, but I had a picture handling one of my little chestnut dwarfs, and they're very, very fast. Somebody else that I know who kept them was overly impressed with the fact that when I actually get a non-blurry picture of one of them. But they are absolutely fantastic wee scorpions. Scorpions, tarantulas. It's been a long day. We were out filming today. We were setting free, spoiler alert, setting free the wild caughts. So yeah, that's going to be the next up video. So now you know, that's the element of surprise going from that. But we were out anyway. So yeah. Reading. I've never done this before, so it kind of flashes up and then it stays for a while and then it goes away again. So it's a bit difficult to see if I miss any questions. If I haven't answered a question, don't be afraid to ask it again. There we go. Heterothella villicella. Mum on the phone, she likes to yap, but like my mum does, like a wee chin wag. Did I tell you about Aunt from you've never met before, but you know the one, you know her. Oh, my mum's not watching. Here's my assassin bug colony. This is my assassin bug colony here. It's a 3-foot tank with a homemade lid. The light's totally pinging off of that, which isn't great. Adult wise, I'm probably actually down to maybe about 5 or 6 adults. I don't have a huge colony numbers at the moment. Nymphs and juveniles, actually couldn't tell you. I should probably make more effort of taking the ova, eggs out, whatever you want to call them, and incubating them separately, but I never have. They all just kind of sit in there, and I throw mealworms in, I throw crickets and locusts and whatever else in there, and I just kind of leave them to get on with it. First freedom. So yeah, I don't know whether I should buy more to put into the colony to boost the numbers. That light hitting off there is kind of annoying me a little bit. But yeah, I bought a couple of hundred probably originally off of somebody, and through giveaways, competitions, a wee bit of cannibalism, because they do from time to time cannibalise, through a great number of things. They've just really whittled down. I have a hard time getting my assassin's bugs to eat. Wow, I'm surprised with that. Sam, I'm really surprised with that. I don't know what to suggest, because normally you throw food in and it disappears. What I was advised to do was just empty a tub of mealworms in, because they'll bury, they may well breed, decent substrate layer. I keep one end, I've got a big chunk of moss at one end, and I keep that slightly damper because they will lather over, and although they themselves like a drier conditions, I'm talking about Platymerus purgitatus, the white spots here, don't know about other spots. Other assassins, sorry. This is how I keep the white spots. So about a couple of inches of substrate. I'll tell you the story of this tattoo quite shortly, because it's quite a beautiful wee story. Sheets of bark, they need somewhere to hang for molting purposes. Water dish, and as I say, I keep one end slightly more moist because they will seek out damper areas for laying it over, although they themselves like it drier. Do I add it untouched? Throw a mixture of everything in. Depends on the size of your colony, depends on how much food you're going to add in. I quite regularly just throw in a tub of this and a tub of that and just leave them at it, because there's all kinds of sizes in there. I even throw maggots in occasionally for the smaller, although it's quite surprising the strength of it. Crickets, micro crickets, mealworms, the bigger ones, Morio worms. But anyway, if I may come away from the assassins and talk about the tattoo, this was a very good friend of mine. So I don't know if I'm squint or not. A friend of mine is now a tattooist. He was a part-time tattooist at the time, and I'd gone through a sort of rocky, a bit of a tough patch. It was a bit of a low point in time, and he had spoken to him before about getting his tattoo done, and he offered to do it as a gesture of goodwill, in so much that he would do the tattoo for free, on the guarantee that when I came across somebody that perhaps needed a bit of help, or if I could do something good for somebody else, I was to pass on. I'm sure we've all heard of this concept of do a good deed and pass it on to somebody else. So my friend, he's now a tattooist, he owns a tattoo shop in one of the local cities to where I am. But anyway, he did the tattoo for free in the wee studio we had at the time, and it's just a really sentimental piece for me. So yeah, I do it, and it was the first kind of tattoo of colour I ever had. All the rest of my tattoos have always been predominantly black, maybe with a micro dash of colour like this mess up here. But this was the first kind of bold, standy out tattoo I ever got. I've tried to pass on numerous deeds since. We did, when I ran my animal education business, we did free giveaways to win free parties, and especially for clubs and stuff that couldn't necessarily afford to have us come in and do it. And the place I now work, we actually took the animals in to see the kids up there, and allowed them to have handling sessions with the animals. But for me, it's little things. It's stopping. You know, if you're going into a supermarket and there's a homeless guy sitting outside, you know, there's been a couple of times I've bought them a meal deal. I'd rather give them food and a drink and something to eat than perhaps give them money that may or may not get used for other substances or other habits or whatever. So, you know, if I've got change, I'll give them change. But there's been a few times I've gone in and bought them a meal deal and just presented them with the food and the drink. But I think loads of people have done really good deeds for me, especially the YouTube community. Obviously, the receiving of the Diddies, House of Bog, Stick and Mix, Nerd Room. These guys have all done me really amazing things, and so I'll look for opportunities where I can to do good things back. And these, you know, you'll all be receiving soon. So yeah, there's a million opportunities all the time to do good deeds for people. It doesn't have to be something huge like giving them a tattoo. It can be anything. It can just be stopping and having a chat with somebody and taking the time to listen to what they've got to say, offering advice, being a friend, just being there for people. So, you know, do what you can. Do what you can. Just skip. Caught when I was eating a bee. Save the bees, I suppose. It's coffee, don't worry, it's not alcohol. I don't drink when it's just me and the wee manny. Although I did win a bottle of wine yesterday that I'm quite looking forward to. Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes maybe it takes, because I work 1 day on and I get 2 days off, so my working day is 16 plus hours. If I oh, DC or Marvel, get back to that. Yeah, I am nearly needing a coffee refill actually. If you're offering. Lost where I was. I know the DC or Marvel conversation came up. There's a lot of characters I love in Marvel, and there's been rumours for quite some time. Like my favourite character, or one of my favourite characters, who I think is really underrated, would be Gambit. And I would love to see Gambit, partly because I absolutely love a staff. I think a staff's an amazing weapon. I know I've got a range of mugs. I've got loads of Star Wars mugs as well, because I do like a bit of Star Wars. I would love there's been talk about Gambit movie being made, and as of yet, I don't think anything's really been overly confirmed. I think it's one of these things they keep, but I just they did him so wrong, other than the Louisiana accent, the New Orleans, sorry, and that was about the only bit they got right in the Wolverine movie that he appeared in. But I would love to see him get an independent movie and done properly in the way that I might remember him from the cartoons and stuff growing up. Oh. Okay, who's seen Deadpool 2? I'm going to start asking questions. People keep going on about Deadpool 2 being far better than Deadpool, the original, but in some ways, I think I actually preferred the original. Just me? I don't know. Cable was awesome. Cable was absolutely awesome. But yeah, I just think the first one had something more to it. But that's my personal, just whilst we're talking about them. Yes, excellent. I wasn't as impressed with the first one as I thought it was going to be, but I did really enjoy it. And speaking of films that I didn't think I was going to overly enjoy, The Blind Lady is Solo. I don't know if anyone's been to see Solo yet, but I got an opportunity to go and see that, and actually came out enjoying it a lot more than I ever anticipated that I would. Not saying by any means it's the greatest film ever, but I didn't. I actually enjoyed it way, way more than I thought I was going to. Yeah, it was actually. It was as I say, it's not probably going to win any awards or anything, but compared to how I thought it was going to go, I actually I think in the trailers they've picked out all the bits where he's least Harrison Fordy than a good horror movie. Oh yeah, see when you're on Netflix or Amazon Prime, horror is the first bit. Every time I will go to the horror section every time before I start looking at any other. Oh well, somebody had mentioned that they're meant to be. There's about 9 other Star Wars movies in the pipeline allegedly. Um, how did my logo become a thing? Well, that's something I want to get tattooed as well. That was from when I ran my animal handling business. We did an animal party for a group of kids, and one of the uncles there was a graphic designer, and we told him that we would be looking to get a unique logo copyrighted and designed for ourselves. And so the logo that I now, pardon me, the logo I now use at the beginning, the Invertebrarian logo, is the logo we bought and paid and had copyrighted for from a graphic designer guy. And because it belongs to us and we had it made for the business, it seemed a bit silly that we had this amazing graphic, this amazing logo created, and it was sitting doing nothing because we had to stop doing the animal handling business. Um, yeah, because we stopped doing the animal handling business, not through any fault. It was just my wife was pregnant with a wee man. We were both working night shift at the time. It was too much to finish a night shift and then jump in the car with a group of animals and try and go and entertain 2 or 3 kids parties in a day and then do another night shift. It was becoming too much for both of us, and so something had to give. Um, so yeah, we decided to stop the animal handling business for now. We may go back to in time to come, and sort of just focus on our work and raising the wee manny. So as I say, the logo was sitting there. It was doing absolutely nothing. I thought for the money we paid for it, I may as well put it to use, and I thought the channel could benefit from it. So yeah, I really like it. I think it's got a bit of everything in it. I think it's kind of cool. So yeah. So excellent, thank you. As I say, it costs a few quid at a time. What is an animal handling business? What we did was we had a range of animals. So we had, at the time, I would use Ripley, my Lassidoria klugi, and I would use one of my smaller spiders, Polymogrammosola pulchripes, or what is now the Hamori, but the Rennie at the time. Sorry for flipping between common and scientific names. I'm aware that not everybody knows scientific terminology, so I just instinctively flip between the two. So yeah, so we had a range of scorpions. We took snakes, uh, range of tarantulas. We took snakes. We took scorpions. We took depend on the type of party as well. They might request particular sets of animals. We'd have rabbits, rats, ferrets. What else? We had a pet skunk. Um, Probably a few other things that have escaped my mind at the moment. What we do is we would take a group of these animals along to a kids party or a club like Scouts or Guides or Cubs or something like that, and we would do a presentation, talk about these animals, where they came from, how they feed, and where suitable, where the animals were suitable to use, we would allow the kids to have some form of physical contact with the kids, i.e. put the snake around the shoulders. The tarantulas would get to walk across their hands on a flat surface, so they weren't actually holding them. Scorpions very rarely. No, we had one in all the time we did it. We had one rat bite. We were at quite a busy function. We didn't realise it was going to be as busy as it was. So it was only myself and my wife. We've got a big TP tent, gazebo-y type of thing, and we had one wee girl, and she'd been in and out all day, and she'd bought the all day pass so she could come back and hold the animals all day long, and she'd been absolutely brilliant with them. So we'd left her kind of sitting on one of her wee chairs, playing with the rats, but she started getting a bit too Elmira, a bit too squishy with the rat, and it nipped her on the finger. But she immediately said, if I recall correctly at the time, she confessed that she'd been like trying to squeeze it as hard as she could, which was partly our fault as well for not keeping a close enough eye on her with one of our animals. But as I say, she'd been in there all day. She'd been absolutely fine. I did have another kid. There were certain animals we had to stop using, especially a lot of like stick insects, mantids, anything that seems to be quite clingy, because kids, if they don't like it, they can freak out, and if it doesn't come off immediately, they can freak out even more. So the Peruvian black stick insects, I had one kind of get sent flying. One of our giant African tree millipedes got dropped. It wasn't a big drop, it was fine. It was literally just above the table. But again, just the sensation of the legs on the child's hands just kind of freaked, because they kind of grip on. I don't know if any of you ever held an African trained millipede, but they kind of almost grip on slightly with their legs. And the kid just freaked out. But generally, in all the time we did it, there was only one actual incident, which was that one rat bite, which amounted to nothing at all. So yeah, it was a brilliant job. Absolutely loved it. I've done gajillions of parties. As I say, spiders, snakes, everything. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, my coffee cup's empty. So what I thought I might do is, if people would like, is open this egg sack. What do people think? Should we open an egg sack? Silence. Yes, frostbite. Yeah, we used to breed rats, but it wasn't for feeders. It was so that we had animals we could train for these parties. Because obviously we do have snakes, and people thought we were breeding rats to feed to the snakes, but no, we never bred anything for the purpose of feeders. We did. I hope so. We did at one point. We had a corn snake, it might have been a king snake, that just would not feed. So we did have to use a pinky mice. Having exhausted all other things, we did have to kickstart the feeding on this. H-Max, no, I haven't bred H-Max. I would love to. They're such photogenic spiders, absolutely beautiful. Every time I took a photo of mine, it didn't. You can't seem to take a bad photo of a H-Mac. They are just such beautiful. Such beautiful spider. I would love to get the Indian social spider, just as I saw the word social flitting up there. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I don't actually know how I'm going to do this. I've got the tub ready. I need to find a bit of twig. This is where it's all going to get incredibly interesting. And we've got a bit of twiggage. You might notice the just with us talking about Marvel and stuff. So I've cut a bit of mesh to fit into there. We're just going to. This is just anchor points for. Oh, I snapped it too small. Oh, just anchor points for. Oh god, that's going well. So we're gonna take the camera. I'll set it up down there. This could either go horrendously wrong or brilliantly well. Oh, that would be awesome, Pete. Yeah, I do. If you've watched my videos, I actually had just. I've lost track of what's going on here with this conversation, but I actually had one day the RS when we were running the animal handling business. At the time, I'd hand reared some jackdaws. There's jackdaws. And we had one in a big hutch outside. It's actually now a ferret hutch. It was also the big pen I used for my Coatimundi at the time. But anyway, we had the bird out the back. And somebody had phoned. Now, I didn't realise this existed, but there's a special branch to the RSPCA that deals in exotic pets. And they're plain clothed officers. They don't have like the RSPCA outfits on. They're plain clothed. And I had a man and woman turn up at my door asking to come in and inspect all my animals, because it had a report that we had DWA animals. So of course I invited them in, showed them all around, and they asked if they could see the bird of prey, or worse to that effect, out the back. And I went, by all means, come and see Squawk, my jackdaw, who I've hand reared since it was a chick, who the only reason I can't set it free is because it's got a busted wing. But by all means, come and see this terrifying bird of prey that could rip your eyes out. So we had a jolly good giggle at that. And they actually left saying that clearly the person who had phoned in to report me didn't have a clue about anything. So anyway, it's just when I read that, it just flashed back to that story. But yeah, RSPCA have a plain clothed special branch exotics department. So who knew? Well, not me until the day they turned up at my door. So right, let's. Okay, so oh, the lid wasn't even on this jar properly. Okay, so here she is. One of these eggs, I would say, is ready to open. So fingers crossed this is going to go remarkably well. The other one just behind it is obviously, so you can see that one over there is quite dark. This one over here behind it is starting to darken up as well, but we're going to get this one out. So let's, I need to go down here. I'm going to flip you around. This is where I hope the camera doesn't just fall flat on its face. Okay, fingers crossed this is all going to go well. I need to find some tweezers. Take these bits of stick out here just now. Okay, so I'm just removing the egg sac from the enclosure. Okay, so this goose was a donkey. That'd be a little bit like my bird of prey that I kept out back. I remember when I had the Coatimundi. If anyone doesn't know what they are, they're part of the raccoon family. They're quite big, large animals. And I heard the kids out the back, one of the kids that was a neighbour at the time, telling other kids that we had a lion that we kept in there. So I'm just going to get a secondary set of tweezers. So if you bear with me one wee second, I'll leave you looking at this egg sac. It will be as quick as I can. Preparation and all that jazz. Okay. Right, here we go. The moment of truth. Now I'm hoping, oh, I better get the lid. I'm hoping that when we open this up, we're going to get lots of little. Are we all ready? Everybody sitting comfortable. This bit kind of terrifies me. Right, I think. I see movement. There we go. There's the first one. I'm just going to set that down. And there we go. Don't know if you can see. I can't zoom in. That's the only problem with this. But here we go. Live egg sac opening on the Vertebrarian channel. Sorry, I can't zoom in, or I don't know how to zoom in. Here they come. Yeah, dude, this is the third healthy egg sac I've got off this one female. All 3 females were introduced. They all were paired up with males. Cow bag destroyed every single egg sac. The other one I left some of the eggs with. I removed some of the eggs. None of them came to anything. This girl, I'd kind of given up hope, if I'm being honest. And then I noticed it was really dark. I spoke to my friend, House of Bugs, and we figured, you know, let's just go for it. Either it's rotten inside or there's babies. Yeah, I bought a group of these slings about a year or so ago. I don't even know how many people own these within the UK. They don't seem to be hugely available. But anyway, I bought up a group of them, and yeah, luckily I've managed to carry on future generations. I just noticed this tub's got a hole or a crack in the side. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. I do love watching them come out. I wish I could zoom. That's the only downside to this. When I try and film them, it doesn't really. I'm just going to move this one wee second. So here we have the egg sacs. So this one down in here is starting to darken, and this one here in the middle, the mother I was given a picture of was actually red on the abdominal markings. As these little guys grow, they'll go very much cream. You go a kind of creamy, whitey kind of colour initially. On the abdominal markings, they start to go a whitish cream, and as they grow, that'll slowly turn sort of a yellow and darken into the orange. With the ones I've had, the mother, and I've seen Google images, and saw a picture of the mother. When I first saw the mother, I thought she was part of the Latrodectus, an actual widow species. I thought, oh, I kind of get them. And then I saw that they were a Steatoda species. So I thought, I've got to have these. I've absolutely got to have these. So yes, the ones I've got have all gone orange, but they can go red. I'm really hoping that somewhere in the genetic line of all these offspring I've got, I'm really hoping I get some reds. I would be thoroughly disappointed if I don't get any reds. So this one will go next, then this one, and then this will be the one she's just laid a few days ago. Alright, beginners world, thank you ever so much for joining us. Take care, and we will speak soon, I hope. So yeah, hopefully anybody that's looking for Steatoda paykelliana, hopefully I'll be able to meet the demands. I don't actually know where she's gone into hiding. She's usually not too far away. She's down. She's right down in there. You can see all the anchor points for the web, and that's not poop, that's... To be honest, Peter, I probably should have timed the egg sacs, but I just looked for them going, like you saw with this one here, I basically just look for them going darkening inside, a bit like it doesn't transpire so well onto film. This one here is starting to darken, so I reckon probably within another week or so that one will be ready to go. But it takes a good couple of weeks for them to I think it's like 4 to 8 weeks or something. Very true, I could time the most recent one, because we know when that one was laid, or at least if I watch back through my videos I'll know when that one was laid. I'm kind of hoping she doesn't lay any more. As awesome as it is, I'm kind of she needs to give herself a break. So let's see how these wee guys are getting on. So they're still coming out, still working their way out of the egg sac. So we'll get these bits of sugar flumps. That wasn't meant to happen. There we go, and that'll create anchor points for when they start to build their communal type of web. And then just for the sake of ventilation, and it makes it quite easy to give them a wee misting, just a very light little mist. I find it handy to cut the main section out and just put mesh. Just make sure that's on properly. Sugar flumps. Don't mock me, man. For people that watch my channel, they know I generally try not to swear too much. Just try and keep it suitable for all age groups. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm really pleased with that. And obviously on the channel, we'll keep you posted as to how they go. I could just sit and watch them. Oh, jeez. Sorry. That doofus there just jump on my blinking shoulders. So yeah, awesome. More babies. More babies indeed. And we're back. So sorry, I'm just gonna fix my tripod. So with that background, get a chair, and put them back. So yeah, really pleased with that. We'll get her put away. Yeah, really pleased with that. Absolutely love these five. Oh, I might need to cut another bit of mesh. That's only just covering that. I don't really want any of them getting out anytime soon. Or at all. Not at all, I've got plenty of mesh. Let's see, do we set them up properly? So there we go. And these are all molting like crazy now, so we've got, I'm running out of space to put them. I've actually got an empty wall jar now, but you'll see that in the video. So we've been on for just coming up for an hour. So depending on if anyone has got anything they would like to speak about, I might just I'll wait before feeding them. To be honest, the other ones, I think on my last video, alright dude, and Scotland, I've not seen you kicking them out for a while. You got the mantis mates, not. Yeah, Peter, what I'll do is once I've finished on here, I'll catch up with you on Insta, and we can have a wee chat about mantids, and we can look at what species you've had, and I can maybe suggest some species that you may fare better with depending on what you've kept. We can maybe look at conditions you're keeping them in, see if there's anything we can do. I love mantids, they're absolutely amazing animals. Unfortunately, as I said at the very beginning of this video, the downside with mantids for me is the short lifespan. I find it quite I can't think of the word. RBC pythons. Yeah, just find it quite disheartening that these such beautiful animals have such a short lifespan. To get back to the question, how long do I leave them for? I think the group number 2, I think they were literally a couple of days, if not a day, out of the sack, and I added in some tiny little maggots, and they immediately started feeding on them. Hey up! You've just missed me opening the egg sack. For anyone that's just joined, we've just opened egg sack number 3 at the moment. How many do I have in my collection? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At the moment, 11 tarantulas in my collection. There's a few species I would like to get again. Any breeding projects planned? This girl in here, this is a Grammosola rosea Chilean rose tarantula. She was successfully paired up. I don't know where she is. This was the only tank I had. It's not really ideal for the species. She was paired up, but as of yet I've not had any luck. As of yet she's not dropped an egg. So I don't seem to have much luck with breeding tarantulas. I've paired her up, I've paired up the only ones I ever got egg sacs off were my Villicella. That was the only one that ever dropped egg sacs. I got 2 egg sacs, one hatched out and the other one got eaten. The Steatodota appears to drop egg sacs like there's no tomorrow. At least she does. The rest can just jog on. But she won't drop an egg sac. I've paired up Golden Knees, nothing. I've paired up Lacidora parabayama, although I think he kept running away. I don't think they ever actually successfully paired, because I'm pretty sure she kept running away. I'm sure I paired up something else, but it escapes me. I would love to pair up my Nando chromatus that I was gifted by somebody. She's an absolute beautiful, and she's just recently molted as well, so she I think is ready to go. We'll just get a look at her, and let's swivel the camera around. She is an absolute beauty. Oops, just move this. It's a very, come here. Yep. Oh, usually she doesn't actually move that quickly. She's normally very docile and chilled, and so yeah, I would really love to find her a suitor. Oh yeah, let's take her out on a dinner date. I'd like to get her into a bigger tank as well, but compared to what she was in, this is quite a big enclosure compared to what I received her in. I'm sure I had it kicking about. Was I think she was in that one. The big tub, not the box or the little tubs, but I'm pretty sure that's the one she was in. So yeah, this is something of an upgrade. I had to get, there used to be a big tank sat down here, but I had to give it away for books, and all of this used to house tubs, but as you can see, it's now not quite so fun. But yeah, those 2 areas were mine, which is kind of one of the reasons I came up with widow wall, as I call it. It's not all widows, but that's my sand spider, and that's a Erisis Canary up there, with the ladybird spider, and the one at the top's empty, and the other 3 are false widows. The Picoliana. So, sorry, I'm just trying to sort that out. So any other questions whilst we're here, before we separate and depart our separate ways? No. Cool. Okay, so I think we'll wrap up this doohickey. I've got a video to go and edit anyway, so oh, go for it. Spider Woman. Stick and mix. Let me know when you're Aruba. Just drop me a PM. I presume you're talking about the Picaliana. Because I'm not really a breeder or seller. If I've got too much, if I've got surplus, I kind of try and avoid breeding for money or for as in terms of business. I used to keep hamsters, and everyone went, "Oh, you know, if you ever have hamsters, I'll buy one off you." Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you get baby hamsters, and everyone goes, "Actually, no, I've not got space for one." And likewise, the Eucorpius, the first time I bred them, everyone's like, "Oh, as soon as you got the babies, let me know." And then you let people know, and they go, "Oh, actually, you know, maybe it's not." And you know, I don't want to end up with too many of something. Yeah, Brazilian blue. Yes, no, but if you speak to Predator Prey Online, is that the Paterma Pelma Sazamai? Is that the correct pronunciation? I believe he has slings for sale. So if that's what you're after, definitely speak to him because he's been advertising the Brazilian blue quite a lot recently. So he's got a website, he's also got a YouTube channel, and can be found on the Facebook group. So definitely, if you're looking for the Brazilian blue, he is the chap. Mad crazy Welsh dude. He's definitely the one to speak to in terms of that. But if anyone is, what would really love to do is if anybody else is breeding anything. What do you mean? That would be cool. If anybody is breeding anything, I'm kind of moving towards. I love my tarantulas, but I'm kind of moving towards other spider species. Sadly, my little jumping spider did pass away. I was absolutely gutted with that. My ladybird spider's up there, my sand spider's there. I'm trying to sort of look at perhaps slightly different species. I would love a diving bell, the aquatic spider, but I would quite happily swapsies some of the Picaliana for some other types of slings. And that kind of stuff. Butterfingers is doing very well. Neither of them at the moment are sitting on a web. We'll go and have a look at them in a wee second. Dude, the light is dim. I might need to put a lamp on or something. At the moment, it's just a natural light coming in. I don't have a torch or anything for shining in because the battery's died. Great preparation. But we'll have a wee look at them before I end this. Just see how they're getting on. Alright, Animal World. 247. I'm going to need to check out your channel. Where was I? Spiders, yeah. So slings, anyone wants to swap, anyone's got anything else. They're breeding, especially the sort of slightly more unusual, unique. Red fangs, yes I am. And don't get me started on that. I could bop that little monkey on his nose, but I'm not a violent person. Unless I need to be. A joke, I'm not a violent person. I've trained in a number of martial arts and stuff. Self-defense, no fighting. Yeah, so I need to move these tanks back up there. So bear with me 1 second. So I roll my trouser legs up because it's absolutely roasting. So I apologise for the clattering and banging. Little things are coming up on the screen. Yeah, I kind of think, I don't know, because you get diving bell spiders in this country, I believe, but it'd be a matter of trying to find one. That I think is the complication. I've thought about going out on a hunt. Sorry, just in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just putting these units back up where I took them from. There we go. I had a trapdoor spider, but I spent my entire life paranoid whether it was alive or dead because I never saw it. I put food in and occasionally food would disappear. Sometimes it just didn't disappear at all. So I spent all my time worrying about the damn thing. And in the end, I dug it up twice and know the time scale I had it. First time it was absolutely fine. They were tetchy little things, quite aggressive. And the second time, I think it had a bad molt or something. It didn't fare well. But yeah, just they're fascinating things, but I just spend the whole time staring at the tub wondering if it's alive or dead. I just, too stressful. So again, let's swivel around. Try and, right. Hope all the flies in here don't escape. And the question is, where are they? Okay, so we've got one hiding up. You can just kind of see it crisscross up the back there. Now the question is, where's the other one hiding? Oh, the other one, don't know if you can see it, it's actually sitting, there's the other one, just sitting down in there. They're quite good at hiding away, they need a wee mist. But yeah, they quite often sit this kind of, so hopefully they'll come out and build their webs later on, but neither of them have that. Oh, dang it. Sorry, that's one of the flies trying to escape. Get back in. Your food. Last couple of nights, neither of them actually built a web, so I'm presuming that they're not overly hungry at the moment. So just tarantula, scorpions, tarantulas, scorpion, scorpion, assassins, tarantula, tarantula, ogres, tailless whips, tarantula, all Mr. Pac-Man. Hey fella. I would love a proper Black Widow if I could have anything at the moment. Probably be a proper Black Widow. Another scorpion in there. Centipede, that's my Sculpendra Dahani, and this is my Grandive Standardieri, or the flag-tailed, fan-tailed. Beautiful bit of footage here. So mantids, the other ones up there, and this is where, if you watch my last video, the fruit beetles have gone into. And there's our setup there. We've got bearded dragon and leopard gecko in the Viv units, although she's getting moved up into a slightly larger. Sorry, you don't need to see the state of my sitting room and hallway. Some beetles, yeah, the beetles you were asking about the other day, Peter. Yeah, I think Sam's mum's still rabbiting on at him, because I've not heard much from him at all. Or he's on the rum. He's probably on the rum. He'll probably turn up later. Old Jack Sparrow. Where's all the rum gone? Looking for some myself. What I could do is, if you want, Peter, again, I'll speak to you later on damn it, he's there. I've got a jar of dirt. I've got a jar of dirt. Hope you all get that stuck in here. Peter, I'll message you later on, because what I could do is perhaps dig out some of the larvae, because there was a lot of them, and send you some of them if you like. Because I think, were you after some of the false widows as well, or was it just more assassins you were after? Drop me a message on Instagram and we can talk about what you're looking for, and we can hopefully get that scene too. If you like, yeah, sounds good, awesome. What I might just do is, if you could all bear with me momentarily, because I know people quite often ask why I don't really deal with we do need Black Widows. We do need a license for actual Black Widows in the UK. Yeah, they would fall under the DWA license. I do have a friend who has offered to help me complete my paperwork to get my DWA license, but I just don't know if it's actually worth it. I don't know if there's that many things I would want to get to make it worthwhile. I mean, I think it's only like 50 quid, but I don't know how long that lasts. I don't know if that's 50 quid a year. I don't know if it's 50 quid and then you've got your license and that's a dump. I don't know if any of you guys have a DWA. Let me know. But I think it might be a one-off payment. I know when I ran the animal handling business, we had to get a animal entertainment license. I think it was 80 quid for our local council. But that was a one-off payment. Once we had the license, we had the license. I don't think it needed renewed or anything. I think it probably would be yearly. If it's anything like my council, they'll probably fleece you for yearly regardless. Even though our animals weren't actually performing, we had to have a performing license. Bear with me one tiny little minute. I'm going to see if I can. Okay. Oh, I just wanted to go and get Coraline out of our Viv, because it's not very often I get the snakes out, but I thought I might. Oh Jesus! I might get old Coraline out to say hello. So she's our large boa. She was the one we used to take for the animal handling parties. Weighs well and over a stone and is about somewhere between about 6.5, 7 foot in length. She's a big weighty girl. But I just thought, just while I had people, oh jeez, oh, here, I just thought I would get her out and say hello. I hope she doesn't decide to eat any of the cats. Give me a Coraline. Oh, she beastie. So yeah, I will go and put her away. I just thought I would get her out and say hello. So I hope you enjoyed Coraline. Right, come on, girl. I just thought I'd show her off. She's the biggest of our collection. She doesn't really get much video time. Got your work up, I sort of working her. I don't really have. I don't really have snakes. My wife keeps snakes. We have a bearded dragon. We have a leopard gecko. I personally am not a reptile person so much. They're cool. Like Coraline is the coolest thing ever. Kinks is pretty cool. I've got a beautiful corn snake that I class as mine because it seems to detest my wife for whatever reason, and it keeps going for her. But generally, the snakes are her hobby. I did all the handling at the kids' parties, but she maintains them. She looks after them. She waters, feeds, all that kind of. Unless I need to she's out and stuff, I'll do whatever needs to be done to look after them. But yeah, don't. Coraline's awesome. She's awesome. She's big. She's beautiful. She's strong. She's impressive. The kids totally like. She's never struck. I got bit by one. We had a red-tailed boa. Brad Mitchell. Yeah. I had a graphic novel. I think it was called Sin City. And I lent it to somebody one drunken night. I'd never seen it, and I can never find it again. It was about what was the wee character's name? It'll pop to me when I'm least thinking about it. It's about a young kid goes to Astro City to learn how to become a superhero, and falls in with this. He's dressed in black, has a white cross on his chest. It's going to annoy me. But anyway, it was a great graphic novel. That was a great recollection of a story. Yeah, we had a red tail. I'd got out to show it some friends, and it wheeked round and got me right in the arm and wiggled its fangs a couple of times. It's the only animal that's ever, well, aside from rats, I've taken a few rat and ferret bites and stuff, but other than that, exotics wise, it's the only one that's ever. It's the only one that's ever got me. Accurately sexing scorpions. Pectines is generally the best way to go. If you go to World of Scorpions, my group on Facebook, there's a guy on there, a guy called Luke, who is amazing with scorpions, and he knows all the wee tricks of the trade. I posted photographs of some scorpions. I didn't even tell him where they were from, and he was able to identify the locality and what species they were. He's an absolute whiz with his scorpions, and he can identify. There's certain things. If the Luris, the Lafurius, I think it was, are quite a rare species. Probably totally wrong pronunciation. The males on the pincers had a gap, and that was so when he took hold of the female for guiding her onto the spike, he didn't actually cause her any damage, so it was really easy. Whereas the female didn't have that gap. The male had a slight gap when its pincers were closed, whereas the female didn't have that gap, so it was really easy to tell the sex of them, because the males grab hold of the females and guide them onto the seminal spike, whatever you want to call it. So you could easily identify the males by that gap for basically grabbing hold of the woman. The female, sorry. Some species it's really difficult. One of mine's has only got one pectine, which makes it even more difficult. And then quite often, unless you've got two side by side, I find it quite difficult to tell whether it's male or female. You look at Google Images and one's longer, one's shorter, but unless you've got a basis of comparison, you can look at one and you're like. And the pectines, in case anyone doesn't know what they are, if you look on the underside of a scorpion, it's got two kind of structures come out. They're almost like little tiny wings. They've got comb-like structures come down on them. Sometimes if they're rearing up the side, you'll see the pectines kind of lifting and sort of flapping about. And yeah, you can generally sex a scorpion off of them, but there are pectine combs. There are telltale signs on some species by claws and carapace. But again, it's not. Luke would be the person to speak to on that, because he's like just a whiz. Post pictures up and he'll be able to tell you, I would imagine. I saw comments about Thanos there. I didn't quite catch. Was that a first appearance of Thanos? Is that the first edition comic? Is that what we're talking about? I missed that. That would be pretty cool. I've not really got a huge. Not so much. One of my friends has it. I've got quite a few graphic novels, but not so much in the way of comics. Oh, wow, that's pretty impressive. They'll be proper collector's items. Nice. Just with Thanos, I ended up seeing Infinity War 4 times. That was fun. It was over 10 hours of my life well spent. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Not always through my own choosing. Ended up going to see it. Good film. Yeah, let's see how the babies are getting on. Just while we're all still here, we've got babies. Cool, mate. I'll catch you on shortly, and we'll have a wee chat. I'm just going to. We'll come down here. I'll flip the camera around to here, and we'll see how the wee ones are getting on. Just if I could get the down the lid. If we've got one trying to climb up and out already, you can stay in there, mate. Yeah, that's a cheeky wee one. Right, get off. Get back in your tub. There we go. Bit difficult to see now that I've put the escape. I don't need any escapees. Get back in there, you. So last thing I need is you guys escaping. So anyway, on that note, I think it's probably about time we wrap it up. If anyone's got any questions, please do ask away. But other than that, I think we will say our goodbyes. I'll get these all in properly. I might cut another bit of mesh for that because that's kind of annoying me. That's alright, Sam. We'll catch up soon. But yeah, thank you ever so much, everybody, and we will see you again. I've got to work out how it is I end this, and thanks for joining. Yeah, please do leave any comments if there's things you want to see me do with the channel, things you would like to see added to the channel, other live videos, etc, etc, etc. But just comment on any old video, and we'll see you again. Thank you ever so much. We'll flip it around, and I'll say a thank you everyone so much for watching. It's been a really enjoyable experience. Actually, I was a wee bit unsure about going live. I wasn't sure how well it would go. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody, and we'll see you again. Bye bye for now. As I say, I've got a video to go and edit. Bye bye.